Now, the hassle of paying taxes and registering for a company's tax identification number at the offices of the GRA is to be phased out by 2020. That's according to the Vice President, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia. He says this is part of reforms the government is considering next year to improve the ease of doing business in the country. The application will be installed on mobile phone devices to allow businesses and individuals to file their taxes and register for the tax identification numbers in the comfort of their homes. The Vice President made the disclosure when addressing business owners and stakeholders at a forum to give an update on reforms by the government to reduce pressure on doing business in the country.
In the 2019 Doing Business report, Ghana ranked 114 in the ease of doing business compared to 120 in 2018. This means an improvement, a narrowing of the gap with the global best practice. But we only went up by 6 positions. So those 3 areas in trading across borders, construction permits, and paying taxes were the reasons why Ghana improved. But as we say, we are only getting started. And we have worked on more reforms for 2020 doing business cycle. And these reforms are very, very key. And we hope that if we all work together, these reforms should see Ghana improve significantly in the next ease of doing business report. Firstly, for companies without a TIN number, a tax identification number. When you usually go to register, you will need your tax identification number. And if you don't have one, it creates problems. It sort of slows down the process, the time that it will take you to register the business. So for companies without the TIN number as it is now being arranged will be generated automatically for the company with a single data entry forms, right? So you will suddenly you don't have to go and apply somewhere else and all of that. The TIN will be generated. Secondly, we are hoping to see the launch of a mobile application and an online platform for the ease of filing tax returns.
All right, so we would like to get more from the forum, and we're being joined by Ebenezer Sabute, live from the Labadi Beach Hotel, where the event is still going on. Ebenezer, what more can you tell us about what the Vice President has been saying?
So, just a moment ago, the forum has ended, but what I can report again is that the Vice President has given the Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority up to about April or May to begin the implementation of this electronic application system. What he's saying is that Ghana is so focused to improve on the ease of doing business in the 2020 ranking. Ghana wants to overtake the other countries like South Africa, Rwanda, and Botswana. So we are moving forward, and moving forward will mean that from the current 114, we want to move forward to at least the first 50 countries of ease of doing business in the whole world. So he has given them an instant, instruction that by April they should begin the implementation of these electronic processes, so that you and I will not need to go to the GRA's office to file our taxes. We will not need to go to the GRA's office to fill for our tax identification number, but we can do it on our mobile phone easily. The Commissioner General of the Ghana Revenue Authority was here as well to assure the Vice President and other business leaders that they are doing all it takes to improve on some of the reforms. They touched on the port systems as well, and if you know very well that there's some rehabilitations ongoing there. There's the commitment that by June, July of this year, all those works will be done. And the IFC has also given their commitment that they will support the government of Ghana to ensure that all these developments come into play to ensure that the ease of doing business in Ghana has improved. She mentioned the fact that Ghana has gained about $4.5 billion over the years as their support to the government of Ghana to improve the ease of doing business and other private sector businesses of the country. And they are willing to do more for the country if we show the commitment if Ghana as a country shows a commitment to improve on ease of doing business.
Ghana has shown enough commitment because we've put in place several interventions that will enhance doing business in the country. But currently, what are the landmarks that we have improved to get this current ranking?
So, hearing from the Vice President, he indicated that the port clearing systems that has improved. If you remember, we used to have about 23 or 14, agencies at the port that hinder port clearance, but they have been reduced to about 7. Which means that all those processes are good for the country. He also talked about the registration process when you want to register your business at the Registrar General's Department, the e-justice system, and also the e-transform, which means that you will not need to go to their offices physically. He also talked about the permit system, especially the construction permit, where one may not need to go to the offices of the Registrar Generals or the Municipal Assembly to get a permit to construct a building or to open up an office space, but you can do that at the comfort of your home through the mobile phone. And he says that all these are indicative of the fact that the Ghana Beyond Aid agenda is working, and also moving beyond aid, moving Ghana upwards on the ease of doing business is also working. So they are, willing to do more to improve the ease of doing business.
All right, so apart from the Vice President, we hear the Senior Minister, Yaosafo Marfo, is also present. What has he been saying too?
Exactly. So the Senior Minister, Yaosafo Marfo, was here, and he was so critical about the work of the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority. He doesn't understand why some of the containers at the port will be checked physically, others will be scanned, but at the end of the day, the revenue we get from these systems doesn't improve. He says that there should be an improvement of revenue, because trade facilitation means improved revenue. So if we are facilitating trade faster, as the World Bank report says, then there should be an improvement of revenue, but not necessarily just clearing the goods to go. He also touched on the tax clearance system and then also filing of our taxes like the rent tax and all that. He charged the Ghana Revenue Authority to do more to ensure that the state gets what it deserves from the citizens.
Okay, many thanks for your time. That was Ebenezer Sabute, my colleague, reaching us live from the Labadi Beach Hotel, where the Vice President, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, has been addressing business stakeholders on the ease of doing business in the country. Ghana, according to the Vice President, has currently improved 6 marks or 6 points, up from 120 to 114 in the ease of doing business report. Now, away from that, head of electronic payments at the Bank of Ghana, Seto Amediku, has disclosed that Parliament is likely to pass the Payment Systems and Services Bill into law before the end of June this year. The bill, which is in its final reading stage, is expected to improve the regulatory environment while minimizing related threats associated with financial inclusiveness. Mr. Amediku expressed his optimism, stating that Parliament was committed to passing the bill.
Parliament is doing a very great job, and I must say that it's almost far completed at the last stage of consideration, and it's still going through consideration, and we hope by next week Parliament will still be, and we believe before the end of June this bill should be completed by Parliament, because of the commitment from both majority and minority to get this bill passed.
But have they told you the reason why it's dragging?
The bill is not dragging. No, Parliament has a lot of work, other work to do. And as a central bank, ours is to have patience and ensure that we have confidence in them, that they get this bill passed. Yeah, it's going to introduce a lot of competition in the sense that non-banks are going to be licensed by the Bank of Ghana. When I say non-bank, we have fintech that will have come for license to also provide payment services like the way the banks are providing. So it means that we'll have more players, and banks that are not ready to really innovate are going to find it difficult in terms of deposit mobilization, at the same time increasing their income.
This is live on the marketplace. Let's now turn our attention to one of the top stories today. Ethiopian aviation investigating officials say the black box from crashed Boeing 737 MAX 8 plane has been recovered. The investigators say pilots struggled with the automated system, which was designed to keep the plane from stalling. The Ethiopian Airlines flight en route from Addis Ababa to the Kenyan capital Nairobi crashed minutes after takeoff and killed all the 157 people on board. We'd like to get the impact of all this happening within the aviation industry. We've been joined by an aerospace specialist on the phone. He is in the person of Dr. Yakubu Akparibu to take a look at the recent aviation setback and also analyze the situation. Doctor, you're welcome to the marketplace. Hello, Doctor, if you can hear me. Good afternoon, welcome. All right, so we're trying to reach Dr. Akparibu Yakubu. He is an aviation or aerospace expert to get more on this particular incident and its impact on businesses globally. Now, before we get him, let's move on to other stories. And growing interest in the field of engineering is providing a boost to manpower training to drive Ghana's industrial development. This according to Provost of the College of Engineering at the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology, Professor Mark Adom Asamoah. He says institutional partnership and support are complementing government's agenda. Professor Mark Adom Asamoah was speaking at an awards ceremony in Kumasi for students and other industrial stakeholders.
The event, in its 6th year, saw a total of 230 undergraduates in various fields of engineering receive laptops, plaques, certificates, and cash. Over 35 industrial establishments were also recognized for their contribution to engineering education. The award scheme was instituted in 2012 to honor and celebrate hard work among students and industrial partners of the college. Professor Adom Asamoah stressed commitment to bring on board industry and other stakeholders to support practical training of students.
We want to be the leaders of engineering education in this country. Actually, we have been since 1951, and we want to continue to be the pace setters. Throughout the nation, the manpower needs in terms of engineering has come from this college. And we believe that we want to establish a strong industrial-academia relationship and build on that or leverage on that to be able to make the sort of impact that we need. Because to be able to industrialize as a nation, we need science and technology. And with science and technology, there is none other than Kwame Nkrumah University of Science.
Some of the industrial partners and students spoke with JoyNews.
The bursary is to award monetary value to students who are bright, they are smart, but they have difficulties with finances. That is the objective, 2 criteria, smart and have the needy. So the university selected them, and we're going to help them complete the whole school. So we help them from first year to the final year, whatever, and provide them a monetary value for it.
After doing mechanical engineering, you are an engineer but not yet a qualified engineer. So with the help of the training, you get your hands work on the particular training that you're going to be given.
Reporting for JoyNews, Kwesi Debra.
All right, so let's still stay in the field of engineering, but this time aerodynamics. And like I mentioned earlier, we've been joined by Dr. Yakubu Akparibu. He's an aerospace engineering expert, a medicine expert, and he's going to comment on the current situation in the aviation industry, where Boeing 737 MAX 8 aircraft of the Ethiopian airline has crashed, killing 157 people aboard. Good afternoon, sir. Welcome to the marketplace.
Good afternoon, sir.
All right, so it is said that airlines are the fastest and safest means of transport. What would you have to say about this current situation on the aircraft which crashed?
Okay, before I make my comments, I just want to express my condolence to the affected families. Yeah, aviation is the safest mode of travel, and with this accident that has happened, it still doesn't make it unsafe to travel by air. I think it is still much pretty safe to travel by air. So this accident so far is like certain models of the Boeing aircraft that is affected. And most of the operators that are using this model of aircraft have already taken steps to ground all of them. So I think it's pretty much safe to travel by air.
Now, so what exactly could have, I know that the black box has been recovered and we are yet to come up with exactly what caused it, but in your opinion, what exactly could have resulted in this fatal disaster?
Yeah, so in aircraft accident investigations, we look at several factors. One is the human component. You know, aviation or flying is more of like a human-machine interface. So it's the human being, the machine itself, and then the environment. So these three key factors are normally taken in consideration when conducting accidents. So most of aviation accidents, 90% are due to human error or human factors issues, and the rest are due to system failures. So when you look at the way this accident happened, there's a Swedish app called Flight Radar 24, which I have on my phone. So that is able to track all flights in the air, in the whole world at any point in time. So they detected that this particular aircraft lost like vertical altitude. So it went up and then came down again, and then it went down.
All right.
So what, yeah.
Now, it's just unfortunate, but we don't have much time. Now, in 30 seconds, could you tell us the impact of this on aviation business globally?
Yeah, there's definitely going to be an impact because psychologically, people are going to develop like fear of flying. So for the first few days or months, definitely there'll be people who will be changing their flights here and there because this has happened.
All right, thank you so much. We'll come your way again on Business Live later this evening for more details and analysis on this situation. That was Dr. Akparibu Yakubu. He is an aerospace engineer and medicine expert. And on that note, we draw the curtains down on this afternoon's edition of The Marketplace. For more business, log on to myjoyonline.com/business. My name is Emmanuel Abuaji. Have a good afternoon.